Brought to you by the Asombro Institute for Science Education, with support from the USDA Southwest Climate Hub.
Wilt It Be Productive explores the effectiveness of shade structures, an agricultural adaptation to climate change. Students will explain how global change, especially increased temperatures and carbon dioxide levels, affect plant transpiration and photosynthesis. They'll analyze the results of an experiment and use them to determine the feasibility of an agricultural adaptation to climate change. Students will set up the shade structure experiment, play the Don't Be a Loser game while waiting, and then analyze the results of their experiment. Before class, prepare by making one shade plate for every team of 4 students. Fold the dinner plate in half, then cut 5 narrow triangle shapes along the center fold, about 1 inch wide by 5 inches long. Unfold the plate and smooth it out so it lays flat. At each station, set up 2 lights so the bottom of each bulb is 6 inches from the table, and place 2 soda cans and 1 shade plate. You'll also need scales, calculators, and extra plates distributed throughout the room. Wash the spinach, blot it dry, and keep it in a refrigerator or cooler when not using. Each group will need 2 small plates, labeled Shade and Open. If you have less than an hour to complete the experiment with your students, we suggest you plate and weigh the spinach for each group before class. Place the empty plate on the scale and press Tare. Spread out 8 spinach leaves on each plate so there's very little overlap, and record the mass of the spinach leaves in Table I of the Educator Guide. Then do the same with the other plate, making sure that the starting mass of the 2 plates are within 0.2 grams of each other. Try to minimize the time the spinach sits out. The cooler and fresher the spinach is, the more successful the experiment will be. Begin class by using the slides to give students an introduction to transpiration, climate change, and how farmers will need to adapt. Tell students that they'll be comparing the amount of water lost from the spinach leaves with and without a shade structure. After weighing the spinach or recording the pre-measured mass, they'll set up the shade structure and place the shade plate underneath, and the open plate under the other light. Turn the lights on and set a timer for at least 30 minutes. While waiting for the experiment, play the Don't Be a Loser game. Divide students into pairs and give each pair a stack of 9 game cards. Each pair will use their cards to fill out their scorecard. Starting with side A of the game card, students will fill out the temperature above or below historic temperatures and whether or not the stomata are open. Using side B of the card, students will fill in the number of water points gained or lost. Students will sum up their total water points lost and gained, then calculate the net water change and answer the questions. Once 30 minutes has passed, instruct students to take the final masses of their spinach and record it in the data table. Make sure that students tare the scale using an empty plate before weighing. They'll calculate the percent change in mass and analyze the results.
A detailed teacher's guide and accompanying materials for this and other climate change lessons can be found online at asombro.org/climate. Check regularly for updates, new lessons, and information about teacher workshops.